Hi PopPop, this is Pilates 5. It's slightly more challenging than the other ones. You'll probably have to focus a little bit more about engaging your core a bit more when we're doing the floor work. Pulling that tongue button back towards your spine. But just see how you get on with it. Okay, I'm going to start in standing. So, as always, start with our feet together, turn your toes out, turn your heels out. Remembering that pelvis is a bucket of water, so tipping forwards, tipping back, finding that middle point where you're not tipping any water out. And we're going to start off doing something called foot series, which is a sequence of movements kind of built in all together. So we'll break it down to start off with. And all you're going to do is we're just going to do some little squats, just small little knee bends. Like we discussed last week, PopPop, if you want to take a wider stance for your squats to make it easy for your knees, go for it, that's fine. Keep your feet in this position throughout the whole series. I'm going to step back in again because it feels more comfortable for me. And do 3 more knee bends. 2, 3, lovely. And then we're just going to raise our heels, nice and slow, in your own time. Good. Raise those heels, keep that tummy button, pull back towards your spine. That bucket of water is nice and level. It's just your ankles that are doing the movement. We're pushing up on our toes. Good. And now you need to bend your knees and lift your heels. And then stand. Bend your knees, lift your heels, down, stand. Bend your knees, lift your heels, down, stand. Bend your knees, lift your heels, down, stand. Let's try a little bit harder. Bend your knees, lift your heels, keep them lifted, straighten your knees, come down. Bend your knees, lift your heels, straight up and down. Bend your knees, lift your heels, straight up and down. Bend your knees, lift your heels, straight up and down. And then let's make it even harder. Arms out in this position. Bend your knees, lift your heels, straight up and down. Bend your knees, lift your heels, straight up, down. Bend your knees, lift your heels, straight up, down. Bend your knees, lift your heels, straight up, down. And then let's bring in a bit more arm movement. Bend your knees, lift your heels, straight up and down. Bend your knees, lift your heels, straight up and down. Bend your knees, lift your heels, straight up and down. Bend your knees, lift your heels, straight up and down. Good. Okay. Still in your standing position, wider if need be. I want you to transfer most of your weight onto one side. But that pelvis is still a bucket of water. And we're just going to try tapping our toe on the floor. For you, you might find it more comfortable for your standing leg to turn your toes out slightly, just so you've got a bit more stability in your foot. I actually prefer toes forward. If lifting your foot, keeping it out to the side is too hard, practice coming in and coming out, and in and out, in and out. And again, the only thing that's moving is your hip. So we're either here, or we're in and out, in, out, in, out, and tap, wherever you are. And then we're going to swap sides, all the way over to the other side. This knee's nice and soft. And again, we're either tapping, nice and slow, or we're coming in and out, in and out. Tummy button still, pull back towards your spine, head, neck and shoulders nice and relaxed. And breathing. Good. Keep tapping. Keep tapping. Lovely. And then come back to the middle. Okay, we're going to come down onto the floor now. So, we're going to work our way through hip twist. One leg circle. I think you've done them before, but I can't remember. So lying on our backs. Start again, feet together, Turn your toes out, turn your heels out. Making sure that our back's nice and neutral. Tummy buttons pull back towards your spine. Ribs are down so we're not flaring our ribs at all. And then just with one knee, I want you to keep your headlights pointing up towards the ceiling. And all you're going to do is take one knee out to the side, as far as you can control, keeping those headlights pointed up to the ceiling, and then you're going to do the other side. So I really want you thinking about pulling that tummy button back towards your spine, and have a play around with how far you can drop one knee out and then come back up again. What I don't want is as you drop, you rock. So headlights stay pointing up to the ceiling, tummy buttons pull back towards your spine. Ribs are down, we're not flaring our ribs. And if you want to bring in your breathing, you breathe out as the leg goes away, and you breathe in as the leg comes back. So you breathe out and in. If you want a little bit more feedback while you're doing it, just pop your hands underneath your bottom and you'll be able to feel a little bit more whether you're rocking or not. It also gives you a little bit of stability as is. So if you need your hands in to start off with, work up to having your hands down by your sides, or have them on your headlights for a bit of feedback. And then to make it slightly harder, I want you to float one leg up into a tabletop. And again, I want you to imagine that there is a pencil on the end of your knee pointing up and on the end of your big toe. And you're just going to see how far you can take your leg out. So your knee and your foot stay in line as you drop that leg out to the side and then back in. Drop it out to the side and back in. Keeping those headlights pointing up towards the ceiling. And again, have a bit of a play around. See how far you can go. And come back in again. Start off maybe just a little bit, see what you control, what you can control rather. And again, the breathing's the same. So you breathe out as the leg goes away, and you breathe in as the leg comes back to centre. We're just really trying to control that rotation movement of your pelvis. So really putting that tummy button back towards your spine. You'll notice the further out you go, the harder work it is on your core. Good. Lovely. And then come back to the middle, drop that leg, swap sides. Same thing on this side. Pencil on the end of your knee and on the end of your toe, and they're both drawing the same parallel lines on the ceiling. Headlights are pointing up, and we're just controlling that movement. Tummy buttons pull back towards your spine, and we're just controlling that movement. Good. Lovely. Really nice. Keep going. Breathing out as the leg goes out, and breathing in as it comes back to the middle. Good. And then just do one more. Bring it in and put it down. We're going to swap to the other side now. So we're in this position, and again, we've got that pencil on the top of your knee and on your big toe. This time you're going to be drawing circles. So the circle from your knee and from your toe are going to be the same size because your leg stays in one position. So we're just drawing circles like that. So we're trying to keep our knee and our foot in line. So we're not just twisting the leg. And again, have a play around with how big a circle you can draw. Nice and slow, keeping that tummy button pressed back towards your spine, low back pressed into the floor. Really trying to work against your body's want to rotate. And then go the other way. So, going clockwise now. Same principle applies for your breathing. So you breathe out on the outside bit and breathe in on the inside bit of the circle. So you're breathing out as the leg goes away from the body, and breathing in as it comes back. Ribs are nice and flat, we're not flaring our ribs. Good. And you can stay here, or if you want you can try and do it with a straighter leg. Pop, you might struggle with a full straight leg. So a nice soft bend on the knees, fine. But you'll be able to draw a bigger circle. Or you can stay with your bent knee. Entirely up to you. Whatever you're doing, I want you to draw 2 more circles. And then come back to a tabletop, pop that leg down. We're going to do the same on the other side. So we're going to float it up. And again, we've got those 2 pencils on the end and we're drawing circles. The pencil on the end of the knee is drawing a circle the same size as the pencil on the end of our big toe. Again, playing around with how big a circle you can draw. Not letting your pelvis rotate. Breathing out as the leg goes away from the body and breathing in as it comes back in. And changing direction. So we're going the other way. Really pulling that tummy button back towards your spine. Good. Pulling that tummy button back towards your spine. And you can stay here, or you can try and straighten the leg a bit more. Keeping that knee nice and soft, just so you've got a longer lever. So you're working a bit harder. We're still keeping those headlights pointing up towards the ceiling. Tummy buttons pull back towards our spine. Back's nice and flat against the floor. Ribs are down. Breathing. And wherever you are, draw 2 really nice last circles for me. And last one. And then come back to a tabletop and come down. Now we've definitely done hundreds before, so starting in this position, crook lying, feet flat on the floor, floating both your hands up and just patting the floor. This is level 1, which is far too easy for you, Pop. So you float one leg up to a tabletop, level 2. Still think this is probably too easy. Pop that leg down, let's just check the other side. I still think that's too easy for you. So let's come up, double tabletop. So I still want you moving your arms, just patting the floor. And I still want you trying to press that leg back into the floor. Tummy buttons pull back towards your spine. If you want, you can play around with your hands, so either have your palms facing down or try palms facing up. Or do 10 down and 10 up. Good. Lovely. And then turn your palms down to the floor. And we're going to bring in a bit of abdo prep. So you're going to come up, just lifting your shoulder blades off the mat, as if you're trying to shove your ribs down into your hips. You've got bungee cords pulling down here, and we're still patting the floor. Neck's nice and soft. I always think try and look at your toes, so you're not really clinging on with your neck. And we're still just patting the floor, working those abs, pushing that low back into the floor, that tummy button pull back towards your spine. Lovely. And then let's lower our head. Stay in this position. And then why not? Let's come up again. Because, you know, why not? Lovely. Keep breathing. With hundreds, you're supposed to breathe in for 10 and breathe out for 10. No, must be 5, so that's quite a lot. Breathe in for 5, breathe out for 5. And then lower your head. One leg down, other leg down, hands down. Lovely. Okay, now we're going to come and lie onto our side. So you can either use a pillow underneath your head, or I always use my bottom arm. And remember, we've got that small gap underneath our waist. the top of our waist is really long. So here, down the back of our spine, we're nice and straight, but also we're not arching our low back at all as well. So you want still neutral spine here, but we want this spine running down our body to be nice and flat. So we're still stretching that. We're not collapsing down here. We're still stretching that. Hips are stacked. Okay, and we're going to do our lovely clams. We're going to do them with a difference, but I will be nice to start off with. Keep your heels together, and you're just going to lift that top knee and come down, and lift and come down, and lift and down, and lift and down. And again, the breathing is breathe out as it goes up, breathe in as it comes back in, and up and down, and up and down, and up and down. And then let's switch it up a little bit. So we're going to go up for a count of 4, we're going to hold it for 2, and we're going to come down for 4. So it goes like this: up, 2, 3, 4, hold, 1, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4, hold and squeeze, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, we're going up, hold, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4, keep going, up, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4, 2 more, up, 2, 3, 4, hold and squeeze, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4, 1 more, up, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4, good. Now you're going to straighten both of your legs. So we're in, I can just about see my toes. So we're in a bit of a banana shape. Still got my head resting under here. Spine down here is still nice and straight. So you've still got that little gap underneath our waist. Top side of our waist is nice and long. Okay, now we're going to do leg lifts where we're just lifting up to hip height. If it's easier to keep your top knee slightly bent, that's fine, but I want everything in line, so your toes in line with your knee. So we're not doing a clam, or you're not just lifting the bottom part of your leg, the whole leg is moving as one. So the leg stays still, it's just the hip that's moving. Okay, so all you're going to do is take a breath in, and as you breathe out, you're going to float that leg up to hip height, and then you're going to come down. And again, breathe out and float, breathe in, come down, 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 breathe out and float and hold. And I do want you to straighten your leg. I want you to really, really point those toes. Imagine someone's pulling your foot off. So really trying to pull that leg away from your body. Still got that gap underneath your waist. Tummy buttons pulled back towards your spine. Someone's trying to pull your leg off. And then relax it down. We're going to do that 2 more times. So you're going to float to hip height and you're going to hold. You're going to hold here. And then if you want, I want you to write your full name. Just with your toe. So you're just moving a little bit. Not too much. But it's keeping your leg up. It's keeping the mind off what's going on with your leg. And then whenever you're done, lower that leg down. Good. And you can do one more. So we're going to just float that leg up. And you're going to hold. Imagine someone's pulling that leg away. And they're pulling that leg away. Really, really trying to pull hard. Hold it there. Hold it there. Stay with it. And come down. Good. Now we're going to repeat that on the other side. So swap sides for me. And again, coming down onto our side. Arms underneath our head. Hips are stacked. Spine is straight down along our body. So we've got a gap underneath our waist. Top side of our waist is nice and long. Tummy buttons pulled back towards your spine. Feet together. Heels in line with your bottom. And we're just going to lift and lower. So we're just doing our climb. Nice and slow. Good. 2 more. Good, and now we're going to do our counting. So we go up, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4, up, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4, keep going, up, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4, 2 more, up, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4, last one, up, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, down, 2, 3, 4, good. Okay, straighten both your legs so we can just about see our toes. Gap underneath our waist still, spine is nice and straight. And all we're going to do is just lift that top leg to hip height and down. Like I said before, you can bend your knee, but everything needs to be in line. Entirely up to you. We're just lifting and lowering, lifting and lowering. And as you lift, we're not collapsing here. We just lift and lower, and lift and lower, and lift and lower. And then this time when you lift, I want you to hold. And hold it there. Imagine someone's really trying to pull your toes away from your body. So really, really pulling that leg away. Pulling it away. Stay there. Keep going. Keep going. And then bring that leg down. We're going to do it 2 more times. So I want you to lift and I want you to hold. And this time with your big toe, I want you to write Pilates for PopPop. So we've got a little bit of movement, not loads. Just to throw you off balance, make those bottom muscles work harder and take your mind off holding your leg up, gives you something else to concentrate on. And then when you've done that, just hold for a couple of seconds more and then lower down. Good. Let's do 1 more for me. So we're going to lift and we're going to hold. Someone's really trying to pull that leg away. Hopefully we can start to feel it burning a little bit there. And hold it there. Hold, hold, and lower. Good. And then you're going to roll onto your back and we're just going to do a couple of stretches. So I want you to cross your right ankle over your left knee. And we're going to hug in here. So again, playing around with the position of your legs. So if I want to feel the stretch a little bit stronger in my right bottom, I lean over to the left a bit more and I can just feel that stretch go stronger. And just breathing. I want you to take 5 really big deep breaths in this position. Feel that stretch. Feel that stretch in your bottom. You'll need it after those tempo climbs and the holds. Just breathing, feeling the stretch. Good. And then unravel and we'll swap sides. So left ankle comes on top of right knee and we hug that right leg in towards us, and again have a play around with whereabouts you are. Again, I want to rock over to my right so that I can feel the stretch more in my left bottom. And once you've found your stretch, I want you to hold it for 5 big deep breaths. So big breath in and then let it all out. Big breath in and let it all out. And keep going, just feeling that stretch. Feel that stretch. Lovely. And then again, unravel. I want you to put both your feet flat on the floor. I want feet together, knees together, arms out in a T shape. Keeping your feet and your knees together. You're just going to rock all the way over to one side. As far as you can, keeping your opposite shoulder flat on the floor. And again, 5 really big deep breaths, really trying to fill this top lung. Filling it with air, and then breathing it all out. And relaxing into the position. Good. And then when you're done there, pulling your knees back up to centre and going down to the other side. Still keeping that opposite shoulder down. And then again, 5 nice big deep breaths to fill that top lung. Good. Really nice, nice and slow. And then come back to the middle, and you're done. Hope that was okay. Let me know if there's any problems, and I'll get planning your next one. Bye, PopPop.